When a father loses his son, you know what he does? Rips his clothes. What happened when Jesus died on the cross? The veil was torn from top all the way to the bottom.
Shalom friends, I'm Tiffany Malilin from the ICEJ, and we are here approximately 25 to 30 kilometers up north of Elat, the southern area of the land of Israel. If you see behind me right there is a mock-up of the actual tabernacle that we read from the Bible itself, of how the Lord described the tabernacle to be, what elements are supposed to be there, and why it's relevant to us today. Join me and our friend Marco, and let's see what it's like inside.
The first item we actually have in the tabernacle is the altar. And this is only one out of 6 items that the Israelites or the Levites, they had to carry by hand. They actually had to pick it up on the shoulders and take from one place to another. Okay, the people would bring the animals to the entrance, and then the priest would take the animal and do the sacrifice for the people. Take the blood, put it on the horns of the altar, and then sacrifice the animal inside. We're talking about probably hundreds of sacrifices every single day. That's why God was so specific about all the details if you read it. Why are all the details? Well, because everything has a meaning. The wash basin is actually, it's a very, very interesting item. It's a very unique item. When we read about this, the copper in the Bible represents judgment. That's why everything outside is judgment. All the judgment around the sacrifices and everything. Also here, every time the priest would come to wash, what could they see? Their own reflection from the mirrors in the water. They see the sin, they see the blood, but it's only after the cleansing of the water, the living water, Maim Chaim, only then they could really be purified from all the sins, and then they're allowed to enter to the holy place. So to this area, this is called the Holy, HaKodesh, where only the priests were allowed to enter, and they only came here twice a day, morning and evening, and just for a few minutes. And then they went back outside to continue the work of the sacrifices. However, behind this veil is the Hol of Holies, where there only the high priest entered only one day a year, Yom Kippur. So right here on the south side, we have the menorah, the lampstand. It was made from pure gold, one piece of gold. And every day when the priest entered, they had to fill this up with olive oil because this was burning all the time. So this may have been the only light in this place, but because that everything is covered with gold and gold reflects light, this was enough to light everything in this place. But right on the other side, we have the showbread table with the 12 breads. The one represents each tribe, but it was a holy bread where only the priest, the Kohanim, were allowed to eat from the bread. That's it, nobody else. And of course, this is also one of the items that they have to just pick up one day and take it with them wherever God led them. This altar, this is actually not for sacrifices at all. Okay, this is actually for incense. And every morning and evening, the priest would have to burn the incense, which represents the prayers of the people, okay? Which is a beautiful picture for us to show, well, every morning and evening. So it's like to start the day with a prayer with God and to end the day with a prayer with God. And this is what he wore every single day, except on Yom Kippur, where on Yom Kippur he wore only the white. He had the 12 stones with the names of the 12 tribes. Okay, one for each tribe with the name of it, but he has 2 more stones on the shoulders, also with the same names, 6 and 6. But this is by the order of the sons of Jacob that they were born. Okay, so from the oldest all the way to the youngest. But this represents the entrance to the presence of God. The Ark of the Covenant is actually known to be the holiest item in the tabernacle. It's made out of 2 different pieces. You have the top part with the cherubims, keruvim, that were made out of pure gold, 1 piece of gold. But then you have the bottom part, the ark, that's from acacia wood covered with gold, outside and inside. Do you remember what was in the ark itself? 3 things. Notice, these are three things that the people rejected. They rejected the law. They rejected Aaron and Moses. They said, well, why are you going to be high priest? We want to be high priest. And the manna, they rejected the provision of God. What they didn't understand that those three things represent Jesus. I do want to say one thing about the cherubims that we do know. That they're facing one another, but their heads were looking down on the capolet, on the mercy seat. What is the first thing they see? The blood. What really saves us is not the law. It is the blood of the sacrifice that covers the law. This is almost the difference between the Old Testament, right? If we rely on our deeds, if we rely on the law, we're all going to die with our sins. But it is only through the blood of the sacrifice. That is the only thing that can actually forgive the sins. Thank you for joining us for the tour of the Tabernacle. I hope you learned something and God spoke to you as much as He speaks to me here daily. Come to the Promised Land, come see us, come visit us here and get to experience what God not just did in our past, but what He's doing today. Even though this is the model, He's still using it today. This is still His tabernacle. And we're more than happy to see you guys coming here and experience God with us here in the desert.